Good day. I hope you're having a good time. It's always a good time when you're in bed, eh? Or you know you're going to sleep now. Yeah, I've had a half a day behind me, so I'm already tired. I think I will have a nap. I have these what they call power naps. Sometimes 11 o'clock in the morning, I feel my eyes go like this, and then I'll go and grab a quick, I don't know, 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes, sometimes, I don't know, 25, but not often. Sometimes it only happens at 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 4 o'clock, sometimes 5 o'clock. So I don't have a siesta time, a nap time. I nap when I need to nap, when my eyes grow heavy. Anyway, I don't know when you will listen to this, but we are now on Monday morning, and since last night, it's been cold. I mean, even yesterday morning it was getting cooler. This morning it's like 9 degrees. Even now it's like 10 or 11. And the sun is shining, but the wind is ice cold. Somewhere I don't know, it's not a good time for snow yet, but it's amazing how the temperature suddenly just in 2 days' time fell from summer to winter. This is like winter, really. So I'm sitting here with my sports clothes because I did some exercising, but it's cold. Anyway, so we have completed our reading of the Old Testament. Yay! Let's give ourselves a hand. And we have ended with all the prophets, basically 350 years before Jesus was born. We had many prophets explicitly prophesying the coming of the Messiah. No doubt, spelled out exactly. And so it was just a question of time. And of course, God's time and our time is not the same. In the eyes of God, 1,000 years is like a minute or a day. But the point is, they prophesied and Jesus was coming. It's a question of waiting, and when he comes, to know and to realize our Messiah is here. Right. Now, the amazing thing is, what is this now? Sorry, let me just kill this thing. Waar gaan jy, Pikkie? But the amazing thing about the coming of the Messiah, it's how God prepared the world so that Jesus, the Messiah, was born at exactly the right moment in time, in history, in the timeline. Jesus was born exactly at the right time. And why do we say that? Well, the whole world was ruled by the Romans. So keep that in the back of your mind. Now, during this time, the Jewish people were ruled by the Romans. It's a powerful empire that stretched across the old world. But it was ruled by a very cruel king named Herod. And of course, the Jews did not want to be reigned by this foreign king, and as bad as he was, and they often tried to rebel against the Romans to regain their freedom, but didn't happen. Now, because their lives were so difficult, the Jews were desperately waiting for the promised Messiah. I mean, it was written in the Torah. However, the religious leaders taught the people to expect a strong earthly king and warrior who would defeat the Romans with weapons. They did not understand that the Messiah was going to come to save them from their sins. And that's the problem. They waited for the king who was going to save them from the Romans. That's what they were taught. Now, after returning from exile, remember that's basically where we stopped with the Old Testament. The exile, Israel returning back home, building the temple and the walls of Jerusalem, etc., etc. The prophets prophesying about the coming of the Messiah. At that time, after they came back from exile, the Jews had completely stopped worshipping false idols. They were very truthful to God. But a new problem arose, a serious problem. And that is that the religious leaders, they were, remember, the scribes and the Pharisees. We read a lot about them when we read about Jesus and how they gave him a lot of trouble. But these scribes and Pharisees, added many of their own strict rules, human rules worked out by them, on top of God's law. So not only God's law, but man-made laws made by the scribes and the Pharisees. They became a very proud group of people, and they wrongly believed that they could earn by obeying these small rules. They thought that they would earn their way into heaven. They will get to heaven if they can completely obey these little rules. Not God's rules, all these little rules. And the problem is they completely missed the point of God's law and God's grace. That was the problem. So the rest of the world, now we're looking at the situation at the time, the Roman Empire, the Jews, how they lived, the scribes and the Pharisees. Remember, this is a time that we talked about, the exact right time for Jesus to come. So, but in the world of the heathens, in the rest of the world, they were also ready to meet Jesus. They were starting to realize, all these different people, that false gods and clever human wisdom could not save them or give them true peace. They started to realize that. They got frustrated and impatient. Their hearts were empty and their hearts were hungry and ready for the truth. Now, in the Greek city of Athens, they were so desperately looking for this God, that they even built an altar to the unknown God. We will read about this unknown God a bit later when we read about Paul. When he was there, he spoke to them and they said, he said to them that they asked him, who is this God that you talk about? And he said, I'm talking about the God for whom you built the altar, unknown God. That's the God I'm talking. He's a living God. But we'll get to that. But anyway, it's interesting. Now, this spiritual hunger meant that many heathens would be ready to accept the good news of Jesus. So all the situation in the world, the heathen world, was also exactly ready to get to know about Jesus and his kingdom. The other interesting thing that was very important for Jesus to come is that God used the Romans and the Greeks, to make it incredibly easy to spread the gospel later on. Firstly, the Roman Empire had brought peace to many countries that they ruled over. Countries that were not having peace with each other now were having peace because the Romans ruled over them all. So there was also a massive new network built by the Romans of good roads, and it made traveling a lot easier and a lot safer. And so much so that the apostles would benefit when they get their chance later on to go into the world and bring the good news of Jesus. Furthermore, because of the earlier Greek conquest, almost everyone in the empire spoke the same language. Although the Romans were ruling, the effect of the Greeks before them was that people spoke Greek. They all spoke the same language, Greek. Even the Romans learned to speak Greek because that was like English today. I mean, we speak Afrikaans here, but we speak English mostly to other people who are not Afrikaans. So, and it's the same in that time. Greek was the language of the day. So thanks to the single world empire and the one universal language, the followers of Jesus could travel anywhere and easily preach the gospel to everybody that they came across because they would understand Greek. So the disciples, although they were Jews, spoke Greek. They would preach in Greek and people will understand them. Isn't that amazing how everything was just right and in the right place at the right time? So this was the time of the coming of Jesus Christ. And we will read about that, the birth of Christ, next time. So I just wanted to set the situation for you so that you know that Jesus came at the fullness of time. He came at a time when everything was perfect. So God chose the time very carefully. The time for Jesus to come and start Christianity. Otherwise today we would not have had the knowledge of Jesus who came to die for our sins. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. It's interesting to also get this background before we read about the coming of the child Jesus. Okay, take care, sleep tight. Remember, Open Home, I love you too. And I will see you, God willing, tomorrow. And we'll read about the birth. If I'm right, we'll read about the birth of Jesus. All right. Take care. Love you too. Ciao, ciao.